Good evening, Africa, and welcome to the United States of Africa broadcast. My name is Akosua Prempeh. Today, we bring you a critical communiqué from Burkina Faso's KORAG, an announcement that exposes the deep fight against corruption within key institutions and the bold actions taken by the Burkina Faso government under Captain Ibrahim Traoré. This message details major investigations, judicial misconduct, and the unwavering determination of the revolutionary government to rebuild a just, dignified, and sovereign nation. At a time when the African continent continues to confront corruption, foreign interference, and internal sabotage, this communiqué serves as a powerful reminder that accountability and justice must form the foundation of our collective future. Before the video begins, I invite every viewer watching from across Africa and the diaspora to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your engagement helps spread awareness, connect Africans everywhere, and strengthen our vision of unity across the continent. Stay tuned. This message is one all Africans must hear.
KORAG Communiqué number 3. Firmly committed to the fight against terrorism and all its imperialist backers who, under the false pretense of working for world peace, fuel various hotspots of tension in Africa and elsewhere, the president of Faso, Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the government, and the entire Burkina Faso people are also fully dedicated to a true rebuilding of the state. In addition to various presidential initiatives aimed at accelerating development for the betterment of Burkina Faso, bold reforms are being implemented, and good governance is promoted with the goal of instilling integrity in public life. It is in this context that, on September 25th, during our second address, we informed the public of serious malfunctions involving individuals and entities from both the public administration and the private sector. In the same vein, during the launch of the second phase of the Days of Patriotic Commitment and Citizen Participation on Monday, October 2nd, 2025, the Comrade President of Faso once again denounced corruption, that persistent evil which is eating away at our society. Despite numerous warnings, denunciations, calls to order, and sanctions, some Burkinabés resistant to change turn a deaf ear and continue to engage in practices that are completely at odds with the values of the progressive popular revolution carried out in the name of and for the people. Many sectors of activity remain plagued by corruption. The corruptors call the shots there, taking advantage of the boundless greed and carelessness of the corrupted. Thank you. Indeed, according to reports, this time recorded by the High Authority for State Control and the Fight Against Corruption, customs officers in Burkina Faso are alleged to have committed acts of corruption and money laundering, demanding payments from truck drivers to let their trucks pass, even though the vehicles had been properly cleared at the Ouagadougou customs office. These events, which date back to May 2021, would see several developments. In fact, at the request of the HASC, the prosecutor of Faso immediately opened an investigation, which led to the discovery of large sums of money held by the accused in their offices and homes. Irrefutable material evidence of acts of corruption involving two agents, one an inspector and the other a customs controller, was added to the case file. The continuation of the investigation also led to the arrest of 11 other customs officers for the same offenses of corruption and money laundering. 12 witnesses, including freight forwarders, customs brokers, transporters, and merchants, heard as part of the case investigation, all admitted to having handed over sums of money ranging from 100 to 150,000 CFA francs without receipt to the accused, who were stationed at the National Coordination for the Fight Against Fraud. So how can we understand that state agents assigned to this structure, which is supposed to fight against fraud, are themselves guilty of acts of corruption and money laundering? In response to their outright denial of the accusations, they will all be confronted with undeniable evidence, thanks to images and videos showing them caught in the act of corruption. The corruption reported within customs circles is also widespread in the judicial sector. Yes, unfortunately, the justice system, this noble institution meant to be a moral compass for society and its citizens, also turns out to be a world plagued by numerous dysfunctions. Several complaints and reports have also been received by the Commission for the Regulation of Malfunctions, as well as the Office of the President of Faso. These reports concern corruption and embezzlement committed by justice officials, including absenteeism, delays in processing cases, abuse of office, profiling, and arrogance toward litigants. Let's return to the case of the customs officers, whose file was submitted to the Office of the Investigating Judge at the ECOFI Division. Despite clear evidence included in the file, confessions by the accused, and consistent witness statements, to everyone's surprise, the investigating judge will issue a dismissal in July 2024. This raises a major question about the good faith and integrity of the judges who handled and ruled on this case. Dissatisfied with this decision, the prosecutor of Faso will appeal the investigating judge's order before the Chamber of Investigation, the Court of Appeal. On August 27, 2025, the Chamber of Investigation, the higher supervisory court, will fail to overturn the initial decision despite the clearly compelling evidence in the case file. It'll uphold reasoning that ignores, on the one hand, the materiality of the offense, the handing over and recovery of the money, and, on the other hand, the consistency between the images and videos taken by undercover investigators and the practices reported by witnesses. This confirmation of the dismissal, despite overwhelming evidence, undermines the fight against corruption and sends an extremely negative message about the effectiveness and rigor of the specialized judicial unit. At the end of this judicial farce, those implicated managed to obtain from the judges involved in the case the identities of the whistleblowers as well as documents from the proceedings, information that is normally protected, to guarantee the anonymity and safety of any whistleblower. Not content with violating a fundamental legal principle, the protection of the whistleblower's identity, one of the customs officers involved goes so far as to drag the whistleblower before a judge whom he bribes in exchange for a harsh sentence against the citizen who simply wanted to help uncover the truth. A reminder, the difficulty of protecting whistleblowers' identities in violation of current regulations is a serious offense that endangers citizens and undermines the entire whistleblowing system. This also highlights a serious dysfunction in the justice system and in the protection of witnesses. In this case, a series of interrogations of justice officials, followed by hearings conducted during October 2025, revealed a vast network of unscrupulous agents at the Ouagadougou Court of Appeal. 10 magistrates, including a chamber president, an attorney general, a deputy attorney general, a prosecutor of Faso, an investigating judge, a sitting judge, and others, as well as a lawyer, are implicated. Large sums of money were also involved in acts of corruption and influence, leading to a biased investigation and a partisan judgment of the case. For such serious offenses involving legal professionals who are supposed to uphold exemplary and equal justice, a campaign of disinformation and defamation has once again been waged by deceitful Western media, especially French outlets, true to their mission, accusing the Burkinabe authorities of arresting magistrates for, according to them, previous acts that would incriminate them. Far from being distracted, Courage, in the face of all these failings, warns all those who are guilty of acts of corruption and who would try to manipulate the actors of justice. The perpetrators and their accomplices will be held accountable and will face the full force of the law. In the name of the principle of equal rights, no favors will be granted to anyone. We will intensify the fight against corruption and the impunity of judicial actors by demanding strict adherence to ethical and professional standards. We firmly believe that you can't talk about bringing morality to public life while ignoring the judicial system. Justice plays a vital role in protecting rights and freedoms. That is why disciplinary sanctions against unscrupulous actors in the judicial sector will continue, without ruling out legal proceedings. Once again, KORAG urges Burkinabés to remain vigilant and to resist any manipulation that may arise from this tough fight against corruption and bad practices. Let us commit ourselves to building a Burkinabe society that is dignified, honest, just, prosperous, and sovereign. Homeland or death, we shall overcome.
Brothers and sisters, Africa's journey toward justice, dignity, and sovereignty requires every one of us. Your voice matters, and your thoughts help shape the conversations that will guide our future. Here are 2 questions for you. Please share your answers in the comments. Number 1. Do you believe Africa can win the fight against corruption if more governments adopt the same strict measures as Burkina Faso? Why? Or why not? Number 2. What steps do you think ordinary African citizens can take to support justice, accountability, and good governance in their own countries? I look forward to reading your thoughts. Together we rise, United States of Africa, one destiny.